All right. Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to Art with Mrs. Bova. This week we are learning all about the letter A. And the letter A makes a sound, ah, ah, ah. Can you make that sound? Ah, ah, ah. So we're going to draw something today that starts with the sound for ah. We're going to draw an alligator. So we're going to draw an alligator today. Sorry if my screen is going out. Hopefully it will stay. I won't send this out if it doesn't. So I'm going to show you today how to draw an alligator. You can take one page of white paper from your art pad if you have it, or if you have some other white paper you can use. I'm using a Sharpie. If you were in the classroom with me, you would be using a Sharpie also. But you have some pens from your bag today you can use, or you can use a pencil or any other art material that you have from your home you can use. So we're going to start off by looking at our piece of paper. It has a top, it has a bottom, and it has two sides. So we're going to put the head of our alligator over here underneath the letter A. Okay, so this is going to be where the head of our alligator goes. So if this is the head, what do you think is going to go over here? The tail, that's right. So to make the tail, we're going to start actually by making the tail of the alligator first. And to do that, we're going to make a backwards C. So you know that we use the letter C for a lot of things. We call it magic C when we're working on writing. But we're going to make a backwards C. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a backwards C kind of like that. Whoops. Let's see if I can do something to adjust that. I'm going to put that right there. And we'll see if that stays. All right, well, we'll see if that stays, hopefully. All right, so we've got our backwards C. Now, from this is going to be the tip of the alligator's tail. So I want you to put your pen or pencil, whatever you're using, right here, the tip of the alligator's tail, and go up a little bit, just like this. Follow along. And then you're going to come down, 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 and follow that same line. So it's kind of like another backwards C. Okay? And now from here, we're going to make a big long line all the way over for the head, all the way over to where the head's going to be. Okay, something like that. Okay, now this is going to be the front of the head, the very tip of its mouth. So from here, we're going to make a little line going down. Okay. And then we want to make its mouth kind of long. So we're going to give it a long mouth. And then our alligator is going to look kind of smiling. So I'm going to come from here, the end of this little line. I'm going to go backwards toward the front of its mouth to show that its mouth is open. I kind of made it look curved, like a little curved line. Okay. And then from here, the end of this part, this is the bottom of its mouth, I'm going to come down and then make a little, sort of like a little C right there. And from here, I'm going to make a line going all the way over and connecting its parts. So you've got a head and you've got a tail. What do you think we're missing? If you said that we're missing legs, you would be right. If you said that we're missing eyes and teeth, you would be right. So we're going to go ahead and start adding some legs. So on this part, the part that's closest to you, we're going to add 2 legs here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 lines kind of like this. They're like, it's sort of like the number 11. I'm going to make 2 lines, and then I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3 bumps. 3 bumps. I'm going to do the same thing. So you can watch again. I'm going to do another one here and here. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. It's like that. And then after I'm done with those, I'm going to come on the other side and do the same thing. So these legs are kind of going forward. See how these legs are pointing that way? So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to make 2 more going that direction. 1, 2. It's kind of like writing the number 11, but flying off to the side. And then this time, I'm going to make them come toward me. So bump, bump, bump. It's kind of like our letter M that we made last week, except with 1 extra bump. So 1, 2, 3 bumps, like that. Okay. Then we're going to come to the very tip, way over here at the tip of the alligator. This is where his snout is. So our alligator snout, we're going to make 1 kind of like a rainbow shape and then another rainbow shape. What letter does that look like? Does that look like the lowercase m from last week? And then inside of that lowercase m and the little rainbows, we're going to make another little rainbow inside. Does it start to look like a snout? All right, then we're going to make 2 eyes, and the 2 eyes are going to go kind of around the end of his mouth. So this is where his teeth are going to go. Here's the end of his mouth. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to make 2 circles right here for his eyes. And then I'm going to put a rainbow over the top of each eye. Little rainbow over the top of each eye, because the alligator's eyes are on the top of its head so that it can be swimming along in the water and it can just have its eyes pop up. Okay. If you want to, in those eyes, you can make a black spot in there to show where the alligator's looking. And then I'm going to make some teeth, and you can decide if you want to make 10 teeth or 20 teeth, but we're going to make some sharp teeth because an alligator is a carnivore. It is a meat eater. So it needs sharp teeth to be able to eat meat. So how I do it is I started on the bottom and I made a line up and then slide down, up and down, up and down. This is called a zigzag line. And we'll use lots of different lines in kindergarten for art, but I made a zigzag line at the top, and then I made a zigzag line at the bottom as well. So I'll let you go ahead and finish that. And if you need to pause, if I'm going too quickly, you can always pause. So now I want to show the scales. An alligator has scales on its body. So I'm going to show some scales by making some bumps. These alligator scales are not going to be super sharp. They're just sort of like little M's, little lowercase flat M's going up and down its body like that. Okay. And that's pretty much the end of making our alligator. The only other part that's missing now is where does the alligator live? So from here, this is where you get to have some fun. You get to decide, where is your alligator? Do you want your alligator to be on a shore? Do you want your alligator to be in the water? I'm gonna maybe make my alligator, I'm gonna use a crayon here. I'm gonna put some brown here and some brown on this side, and everything over here, I can make all of this brown color. And this will show that the alligator is on land, but I want to show something else. Where's my alligator going? I'm going to show you where my alligator is going. I'm going to finish. I'm going to take time and finish coloring that on my own later, but I want to show you where my alligator is going right now. Where do you think my alligator is going? Into the water. That's right, my alligator is going into the water. So I'm going to take my blue crayon and I'm going to color all this part around the alligator. On this side, it's going to be blue, even in here. And all around my alligator, going all the way up to the shore, because it's kind of like a beach, right? Where the water meets the sand or the dirt. And I want to color all this part. Now, I don't want to end up with a big white splotch in between. See where the ocean doesn't just stop, or the water, not the ocean, sorry, the water where the alligator is going into, it doesn't just stop and turn white, right? The brown, the soil, the land, it doesn't just stop and disappear. It needs to have more land. The land goes off all the way into the distance, okay? And then the alligator you can color as well. So you can use your crayons or your markers and color. This is kind of a large picture, so I'm using crayons because coloring with a marker for something really large like this can be difficult. So I would use, if you really are excited about using the markers, I would maybe use the crayons for coloring the land, for coloring the water, for coloring the alligator, the big parts. And then you could use the marker to maybe color in his eyes or add some detail. You could give him what do you think an alligator eats? You could add something here. You could add some plants on the ground. You could draw a picture of some things swimming in the water. So you can use your markers to do that. Okay. All right. I hope you had fun. When you're all done, you can even write the letters A at the top, uppercase and lowercase, and you can copy and write the word alligator. You can pause it if I stop the video and you wanted to see it. You can pause it first right now and copy the word alligator. You could even use our words that we know this week, and you could write, let's see if you know what this says. I like, and then alligators. I like alligators. And I put a period at the end. I left some space between my words. And maybe you can even read this. These are our two sight words, I and like. I like alligators. Okay, hope you had fun.